Welcome to Ask Sean, where I explore all sorts of questions about life, relationships, and being human. I'm Sean Slevin, a licensed professional counselor and a licensed marriage and family therapist. And if you have a question you'd like to ask me, you can submit it anonymously at www.asksean.org. So in this video, which is from a recent interview, I'm exploring the question around whether it is better to do our growing in singleness or in relationship. And kind of to give a spoiler, the answer is it doesn't really matter. Grow where you are. And so, I just kind of do a lot of talking about kind of the pros and cons of both contexts, and kind of, that there's wonderful things and hard things about singleness and about being in a relationship. And that if we are open and if we're willing to work, we can do our growing and healing in either context. So, yeah. Right. So, grow wherever you're at. You don't have to, if you're in a relationship, work on your stuff in a relationship. If you're single, work on your stuff as you're single. I don't think, what am I going to say? I was going to say, I don't think that, we have to, wait till we are, together, all put together, all healed or something, as if we're all ever totally healed, before we can be in a relationship. And I guess part of the thing too is that, oh golly, I mean, we're gonna be drawn to seek out relationships that are going to bring up our stuff. And so, and that can be really hard, and it can be even really destructive. But if we have adequate support and we're paying attention, we're really sort of yielding to, what is this trying to teach me? I keep seeking out partners who hurt me in these ways. What's that say about me? Not what about me in a shaming way, but what is my soul trying to work through? What is my soul calling me to pay attention to? What is it about this pattern that is so enticing that makes me live like, oh, yay, this is going to be amazing, and I'll be sobbing and raging in 3 months. So that there's wonderful information there. If we're willing to listen for it and to look for it. And so, so it's if you, whatever your station is, relationship or single, there are things going on inside of you and around you in terms of how you're interacting with the world and what's triggering you and whatnot, that is inviting you to know yourself and to be with your pain. And so there's good things and hard things about both contexts, both just in general and with regards to what we're talking about, but also more broadly in life. Relationships can be wonderful things, and they're really freaking hard things. And singleness can be a wonderful thing and a really freaking hard thing. That's something as a culture that I think we need to recover, sort of a healthy, equating of these two, that these are both, can be really, valid, meaningful, flourishing paths. Because the thing is, if we're avoiding our junk, then either of these paths we will make into our own personal hell. And so in that regard, it doesn't matter, you can be single, you can be in a relationship, do whatever you want to do. But as your junk comes up, try to be facing it. Reach out for support. If you're overwhelmed, reach out for more support. Go to therapy more frequently. I've had seasons in my life where I've gone 5 days a week because shit was really intense. And it's I'm trying to keep my head sort of above water as I'm working through stuff. And is that expensive? And is that did I make all sorts of sacrifices to make that happen? Yes, but it was better than the alternative, and I don't regret it. So, it's do what you have to do to get the support you need, because our stuff's going to keep coming up. So it's as much as you can be able to work through in the present moment, that's less for later. I mean, there's always going to be other stuff later, but at least it'll be other stuff. And, the degree to which, maybe you don't have access to, enough support or whatever, it's not like you're missing your chance, because it'll come up again. You're going to our psyche will keep giving us chances to work through things. And so, and that's one of the things I tell people in relationships, especially if things are really hard and they're well, what if I lose this relationship? Or what if I just decide to end this relationship? And I'm look, work on as much as you can while you're in the relationship, because you got the benefit that this person triggers the heck out of you, like, you know. And so it's like let's like learn and grow as much as we can. And if the relationship ends, yes, that's hard. I mean, and truly, you know, that's a loss, and it's hard, and can be all kinds of difficult depending on the particulars of its ending. But like, you know, you will have grown as much as you could in it, and you can keep growing, you know, as a single person. And then if you enter into another relationship, whatever's still waiting to be worked on will come up, like, and so in that sense, there's just so much freedom, you know. Like, we don't have to. That can release us from the like, oh, what's the exact right thing to do? Well, there's not an exact right thing to do, which doesn't mean we don't have ethics and whatnot, but it just means in terms of like, there's not some perfect path out there. Because when we think about that, we're fantasizing that there's some path that's going to rescue me from the responsibility for my own life, that's going to rescue me from having to face my pain. And it's like, that don't exist. You know, that's a fiction of our, you know, our woundedness that, you know, that we can like put onto a bazillion different things and, you know, temporarily be like, oh, this is like saving me from it, you know, this person or this career or this hobby or whatever. But, you know, we all know, if we're honest, that like our pain's just waiting, you know, just a few moments away, you know, from once that distraction fades, once that, you know, relationship is no longer so perfect in our eyes, you know, or relationship, job, hobby, whatever. And so it's like, you know, our soul is inevitably and persistently calling us to like, won't you come find the lost parts of me, parts of us, and like bring healing to them. And the good news is we can do that. Like, we're capable of like so much. So yeah, it's absolutely doable in relationship, doable in singleness, and it's hard in different ways in both, and beautiful and really lovely and easier in different ways in both. You know, so it's like, yeah.